Hello all and welcome back to my channel, Everything Automotive. Today I thought I'd do a combination of videos all about the Lotus Emira from the day that I bought it. Those of you that follow my channel will know that I bought a Lotus Emira around about 3 to 4 months ago and I got it for a record price. A lot of critics have commented on the video saying, oh yeah, but you just pay the depreciation off, and you know, the critics are wrong and right. But if you go and try and buy a mirror now, you will never get it for the price that I paid for it due to the deals they were doing at the time. So the first video today will be how much I paid for the car and how much it cost me per month, which you'll never believe, but it's true. The second video is going to be around driving the car. Then we're going to have a bit around the interior and the loves and hates of the car. So let's get to the video now so I can show you what these Lotus Emiras are really like. And believe me, keep watching till the end of this video because this is a car that you're going to want yourself, and it's a cheap supercar. It's a car you're going to love. So watch the video all the way through to the end, subscribe, like and follow my channel. Let's do it. Well, good afternoon all, thank you for coming back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while since I've uploaded. It's been quite busy with work and been buying a new car. So this is my Lotus Emira that I've wanted for a long time, since they were launched. Never thought I'd be in a position to buy one, if I'm honest, but been lucky enough to get one. But the reason for this video is to tell you actually how I managed to get it. And within reason, I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it. So this is a 2024 Lotus Emira first edition AMG. So it's the 2-litre AMG engine, 360 brake horsepower. Now I believe, happy for comments below, that this vehicle brand new retails in the region of £79,000 ish. May not be correct, but around that figure. Now that was out of my price range when I was looking every time. No way was I going to afford that. So took a drive out to Lotus because I thought I'm going to drive them and see what I think of them. And the Lotus dealer said to me, you won't believe the deal we've got on these at the minute. Yeah. And I'm thinking, normal salesman, give me the spiel to buy a car. However, this car was pre-registered in June 2024, I think, or July 2024, to Lotus as an owner. It was stored and not used and had 9 miles on the clock. I purchased this car for £69,000. So I lost the VAT from it, obviously, and a small bit of depreciation. So brand new car, pre-registered with one owner that actually wasn't a real owner, it was just Lotus, and I got all that money off. Now that's a bargain. That is a massive discount for just not buying it brand new and speccing it yourself. This car's fairly well specced anyway because they specced it. Now I'm not going to tell you every detail about the financials, but all I'll say is enough to let you know this car is very affordable to the normal person. So if I told you that I put down a deposit of just under £20,000 and this car costs me under £10 a month, would you believe me? Probably not, because many don't. However, that is the fact. Got it on the financial paperwork here. That is fact. This car is on a PCP deal, under £20,000 deposit and under £9 a month, sorry, under £10 a month for 3 years. If you want to know more detail of how I managed to get this car for this deal, please subscribe to my channel and ask me in the comments section, and I'll reveal to you how I've done it. All I would say is, if you're serious and want to drive and buy a Emira, or a Lotus Emira, it is achievable, more achievable than you probably ever believed. So, as I say, today is a real quick how I managed to do it, what I paid for it. Now, I'll share more information, but on the one-to-one basis in the comments section. And I'm also obviously going to do a full review for my channel after 1,000 miles, after 5,000 miles. I'm going to do a trip to Monaco as well, which will be videoed. And so keep subscribed, keep liking my videos, and put your notifications on so you can see what I'm doing. Get in touch. You could be driving one of these for under £10 a month, believe it or not. Anyway, thanks for today. Thanks for just tuning in to watch this quick video. I will be back to do the review video, but depending on weather, etc. I don't really bring the car out much in bad weather, so depending on the weather, we'll get some good weather, get some miles in the car. It's only done about 300 miles at the moment. I will do a video for you, for the review, to give everyone what I likes and dislikes. There's a lot of likes in this car, but there is a couple of niggles already that I've got, but nothing that would say to me I don't like the car. Thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. Subscribe, like, notifications. See you soon. Thank you, bye bye. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to do a review on the Lotus Emira. On my last video I said I was going to do a review after I've done a couple of thousand miles or 1,000 miles. But unfortunately, due to the weather, work commitments and everything else, I haven't achieved that many miles. I think I've done about 700. So today's review is really based on owning the car for 5 to 6 weeks, which I hope it gives you the right overview. But let's start. So taking a look at the exterior of the car first, this has got to be one of the best cars that Lotus have released. And I know this was their mission and their aim for being the last combustion engine car they made, but this has got to be the best one from a looks perspective. It's like a super sports car with supercar looks, but not the supercar price. It's still high price, but not the supercar price. You know. So on the rear end of the car then we've got a couple of nice large exhausts, and I don't know if you can see in the exhaust there as well, they actually do the Lotus emblem in the exhaust, if you can see. Ducts in the back here as well, go all the way through to the tyre, so you can see the tyre in there. That's actually from the idea of their electric concept car. Slick lights at the back, so you've got a light bar all the way across for the brake, and a really nice, you know, the rear end of this car is really fat and really nice. The car running on 20-inch wheels, 285s I think they are on the back, with a yellow 6-pot calipers, and they're not ceramic discs on this, so you do get a lot of brake dust. Nice ducts in the back, making the back end of the car look fat and stand out. So nice ducts, just giving ventilation and the relevant air into the car. Folding mirrors. The front here, you'd expect this maybe to give you a frunk, but it's not going to give you a frunk. Yeah, under there you've got a radiator, oil coolers. You can actually get that car, the bonnet to open for maintenance purposes, but unfortunately it is really only for maintenance purposes only. You've got some vents in the front that go straight through for the coolers that we've just discussed. Not sure I like where the number plate's placed. I think that could be placed a little bit better. You've got the towing eye there. I like the design of the lights. The LED lights come on, and you've got 3 strip driving lights that come on when you're driving, which are really slick and really nice. As I say, just looking at the car from the side, it's just such a slick, great looking car with really good curves down the bottom. You know, you've got this piece here. It curves all the way around just for aerodynamics and looks really good. This duct this side is just behind there. You've got the turbo inlet. You can really hear that sucking when you're accelerating hard, which is really nice. In the boot, so like any sports car, there's not much of a boot. Some people complain about this. Is it an issue? I'm going to actually do a video on how much luggage you can get in the car, because I want to tour to Monaco anyway, which I think I discussed on one of the other videos. I'm going to tour to Monaco, so I want to show you guys how much luggage you can get in here, so I will demonstrate this. I'm going to go over the spec of the car in a minute when I drive it, but this is the i4, so it's the 2-litre AMG engine, turbocharged, and the engine's covered in this, which I suppose is a little bit disappointing because the V6 is open, so you can basically see it. But is it a massive issue? Not really. So yeah, just battery in the boot behind that cover there, but overall not too bad a size. The only thing is you don't want to be putting your chilled food in the boot, because the boot does get rather hot. Really weird sign on the top here saying that you're a maximum of 50 kilograms can go in the boot. Bit of a weird sign there for that. Don't really understand that point of view, but hey ho, it's been put on there. So let's have a quick look in the inside of the car, and then we'll take it for a drive and I'll go through the specifications. So inside the car, we've got the LED dashboard, which is obviously a lot better than what Lotus have done previously, and in there as well you can select different modes, etc. on that dashboard when the engine's running, like the BMW iDrive. But I have to say, if you're going to drive a Lotus Emira, are you really worried about the technology, or are you worried about how the car drives? Because the technology isn't great. It has got Apple or Android CarPlay in, but let's be realistic. We're not driving the Lotus to feel or play with the controls. We're driving the Lotus to feel the way it drives. It is a driver's car. Leather dashboard. We've got Alcantara interior. You've got Alcantara seats with a nice Lotus emblem on the back, and then got the auto gearbox. It's the i4, so you've got the auto gearbox, and then you've got this really silly thing that actually I'm not really sure. If it stayed up it'd be easy, but you have to like hold it up and then get your finger in to start the car. You've got a little compartment here and USB-C and USB-A, sorry, your phone sockets can go in there. And then you've got your controls down here for the ventilation. Good little gimmick on here is, like on the ventilation controls, you've got the Stig there sitting in his seat. The car also comes with electric mirrors, electric windows, and you have got, as standard, memory seats and fully electric seats and heated seats. So the car does come with that. Overall interior, a hell of a lot better than what I've been used to from driving the S1s and the S2 Lotuses which I've owned, and this car is a totally different generation. Does it have some niggles? Definitely does have some niggles, but I'll have to say, from the drivability point of view, them niggles are overtaken by the way the car drives, and it just makes you forget about anything else. It's a fantastic car. Anyway, let's get this car out on the road and discuss a bit about the spec. So let's go on the road then. So before we drive off, so I haven't got to read the spec sheet when we're driving, let's just do some comparisons. So as I said in my previous video, which is well worth a watch, because the previous video will tell you how achievable it was for me to buy this car. So this is the 2-litre AMG Mercedes engine. The engine produces 360 brake horsepower and a 0 to 60 in about 4.4 seconds, 4.3 seconds. Top speed of 171 miles per hour and an 8-speed dual clutch gearbox, which does have its own issues, but I'd like to discuss them issues in another video because I don't want to make this negative, because it's a beautiful car. So let's not talk about that in this. So this car, round about, let's say 85 to 89,000 pounds, depending what extras you have on the car. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. The AMG i4 engine doesn't sound as good with the tunes coming out the exhaust as the 3.5 V6. However, that is changeable. You can change that. You can put a different exhaust on, which a lot of people are doing. So that is changeable. However, I took this through a tunnel the other week in track mode, and it sounded beautiful, to be honest. So I'm not too fussed, but might I change the exhaust? I think I might change the exhaust, yes. So the alternative to this car is the 3.5 litre Toyota V6 engine producing 400 horsepower. Now that car comes in a manual or an automatic. A lot of people rave about the manual because the Lotus is a driver's car and they want to be driving a manual car. I personally prefer an automatic, and that is one of the reasons I didn't get the V6, because I didn't want to be changing gear all the time, and I'm really enjoying an automatic car now. So the 0 to 60 in the 400 horsepower 3.5 is only 4.2 seconds, so it's actually not that different if you compare. And 180 miles an hour, so you got 9 miles an hour just by having that bigger engine. And retail price, let's say anything from 90 to 95,000 pounds, around about that. Different. The AMG 2 litre only weighs in at 1,446 kilograms because the engine's a lot lighter. So this is why you still get the performance out of the 2 litre engine. And to be honest, the fuel economy is better as well. Not that you want to worry about that when you're going to be driving a super sports car. But let's take it for a drive and show you what this is about, and we'll talk about it a bit more when we go. So gearbox on these is a little bit strange. So when you start up, you're in park, and then actually you think, oh, like any normal automatic, you just pull once and you're in gear. No, you're in neutral, and then you have to pull again and do that into first. Exactly the same when you go into reverse. So you go into neutral and then you go into reverse. So bit of a strange setup. It's got a reversing camera in there as well that I didn't cover earlier on when you go into reverse. So let's take it for a drive and just show you what it's like around a couple of roundabouts. And yeah, just want to share my thoughts with it, really. And as I've said before on my channel, I don't get paid to do this. I've just got enough followers to get me through. This is my car. I haven't been paid to drive this car, and it's just for me to enjoy. And I do enjoy the cars, but I also like to enjoy sharing with you guys, my followers, my subscribers, what my thoughts are about the car, just to give you an idea of what the cars drive like, how achievable they are to own, and how nice they are. But I also like to show you the truth about what I don't like, which again, I'm not showing you today's video because I want to do a separate video on that, just to give you an overview on the things that are a little bit niggly but don't really take over the passion and love that you can have for this great car, just because of drivability. Right, so let's just go up this bypass here and just show you what this car's about. So let's put it into sports mode. Hopefully you can hear the tone change. You can hear the tone change there. I'm going to put it in track mode, and you really hear it rev up now because it wants to hold the gears longer. Now within track mode, the car is obviously giving you more power, quicker acceleration, but it has turned off the ABS and traction control. So on a day like today where it's a little bit greasy, 2 degrees, it's probably a little bit naughty. So I'm going to put it back in sports mode because we still get the power, we still get the high rev gear change, although we're going to use the paddle shifts anyway. And I just want to show you how it accelerates out the corners, round the roundabouts, and bits and pieces like that. Now we have currently got a lorry in front of us here, so what I want to do is probably spin it around here, and then we'll go back the other way, and I just want to show you what she accelerates like, really. Let's do it. A bit squirmy. Can you hear the turbo pulling? Whistling on the turbo. rev match. When you change down the gears, you've got the rev match, and that's a good thing to say with regards to the 3.5 V6. You don't get any rev match on the manual or anything. You've got to do that by toe and heel, so you do not get the rev match or anything, you know, so you do not get so much fun. With this, it does the rev match. And also as well, you know, as I've said previously, because of the weight difference between these cars, there's not much difference in acceleration. But also what we've got to consider as well with this is the Toyota V6 engine is already at its capability. This AMG i4 engine has the capability of being tuned to well over 400 horsepower, which will put this car in excess a lot quicker than the V6. And that's what people are tending to forget. This is a very, very strong engine that is capable of handling a lot of things. Now, I want to get back to showing you what the car's doing, but unfortunately it's a busy day of traffic, so we're going to head down here, get to the roundabout, swing it round and give it some more. Right, we've got a clear road now, let's go. Oh, she wants to go sideways. And you can hear the pop as the gear changes. Just absolutely amazing acceleration. And rev match. Yeah, just really amazing what this car is capable of doing. And I want to get this on the Norwich test track or racetrack as well. I believe there's a session there August 2025 in the Lotus Club that I'm part of. So I want to get this on the track and just the capability of this car is amazing, and it needs to be tested. And I really thoroughly, you know, anybody watching my channel that's watched how easy it was for me to achieve to afford this car, the affordability, watch that video and see how affordable it is. Get to Lotus and get a test drive. I guarantee once you've test driven one of these cars, you ain't going to want to not buy one. That was my mistake. They said to me, test drive it. I'm like, no, test drive it, and I bought it. And I'm going to do that because the car's amazing. Let's just hold back a little bit more and then let's show you the capability again. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Rev match is fantastic. I'm loving the rev match. So let's just show you off this roundabout how squirmy you can get. Whoa, sideways. Again, sideways. Just amazing. I just can't wait to get it on the track. Anyway, that's enough for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a quick insight of my thoughts over this 6-8 weeks. There's a lot more to show. Trip to Monaco, staying in the Munich hotel where you put the car in the room. So lots more to show, lots more to share with you. Keep subscribed, keep watching my channel, look for the updates. But again, thank you very much for taking the time out to watch me today and watch my video and my content. Please put comments if you want to know some more information about the car. I will link in the description about the video that's about the affordability of this car, just to share with my subscribers and viewers. Again, thank you very much for taking the time out to watch my video, and I'll be back on again soon. Thank you. Well, hello and welcome back to my channel, Anything Automotive. And as promised on a previous video, today I want to do a video on my Lotus Emira, but about the things that I don't like. So this is going to be a tough video because I like a lot of things about it, but there's a few niggles that I don't like. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the boot. And it's not about what you think I'm going to talk about. It's not about the boot space. It's about something else. So in the boot, the space is what it is. I said I'm going to do another video on that. If I haven't already released that video before this one, I'm going to do a video to show you how much you can fit into the boot. So with regards to the boot, there's two issues with this boot lid. So the first one being, when it's been raining and the rain is sitting on here, this here is open for a vent. And when you open the boot like this, the boot tends to fill up with water all over your engine here. It doesn't go into here, into the boot space here, it fills in here, but it makes this all look horrible, and it's not very nice. So that's one problem. The second problem is you shut the boot and you think it's shut. Yeah, it's not. You can't now open that boot with the key or the button inside the car because the boot isn't firmly shut. When you shut these boots, you need to give them a really good push in the middle, and now that boot is totally engaged. Now the boot is engaged, it allows you to open it with the key or with the button inside the car. So what else is a niggle for me on this car? God, I'm really struggling to find them, but I have got a couple. So, with the gears, well, this is a niggle actually. Why would you put this over here where you have to hold it like this to start the car? Really strange. Hey ho, but it's a nice gimmick, but a bit of a weird thing to do. Another issue with this car is, so currently we're sitting in park. So now I'm going to pull the gears once. We're now sitting in neutral. You'd expect that to be into drive. It's not in drive. I'm now going to pull it again, and now you can see we're in drive. Another niggle is, let's put this car back into neutral. So if you're in a hurry and you want to turn around quickly in the road, it's a real issue, because basically the gearbox has a delay of 1 second, 2 seconds. So I've now pulled that into first, and actually it engages okay. But if I put this car in park, I've now pulled it in first. See the delay? So there's a couple of second delay there. So if you want to turn around quickly in the road, it doesn't engage very, very quickly. Another issue as well with the gearbox is, when you're in sports or track mode, it enables you a bigger rev range, which you would expect from the car. But the only thing is, it gets itself tangled in a real knot, and it revs and revs and revs when you let off the throttle, and it just can't sort itself out to get itself back in the right gear. Once it's sorted the gear out, it's fine, and it gets itself sorted out, and the gear range starts to work okay again. So another niggle, the iDrive, I call it the iDrive system, but it isn't that. It's the Lotus control system, whatever you want to call it. Looks very basic, doesn't it? Very, very basic. I mean, I'm used to driving a BMW every day, but this system is slow and basic. The sat nav, you can't rely on the sat nav. You've got to rely on the Android or Apple CarPlay. So yeah, it's very, very, I would say, a very basic system. The stereo or radio picks up DAB, but unfortunately the aerial is in the windscreen, so the aerial isn't that great. So when you're listening to DAB, it loses signal regularly. Again, it's probably better to stream off of your phone. Here's the main screen of menus and things you've got in there. Again, let's just go to performance. It gives you a nice screen. That's probably one of the best screens to have on in the car when you're driving. Again, the other functions in here are basic. It is quite basic functions. If you go into the settings, you know, look, I discussed this in my previous video. I do not drive a Lotus to worry too much about the technology, because it's all about the drivability, and the car definitely has the drivability not to worry about the technology. But as I said, I just want to show you a few niggles that I have that might not impact anybody else, but there are a few niggles that I have. With regards to when you want to put your car into the different modes, there you go, you pull it in, it brings the screen up, but then you have to do it again to move it, and then, you know, so it's just the lag. You can do this by your finger as well. Yeah, so another little problem. The system itself does lag, and it does sometimes lock itself up, sometimes resets itself, sometimes doesn't connect to Apple CarPlay. But let's be fair on that to Lotus. Apple CarPlay does that in a lot of vehicles. So are there any other things that I'm not entirely happy with the car? There's one more thing I don't like, but we've got to get out of the car for that. I don't 100% like these door handles. They're really fiddly to get in. When you get used to them, they're fine. They're really fiddly, you know, to get in and out. But we know why they're done. They're done for aerodynamics. Anyway, as I said, this was just a quick video to tell you a few niggles I had after 4 to 6 weeks. But I want to be totally clear. These niggles do not take away how great this car actually is. I just wanted to share the niggles with my viewers, my followers and my subscribers to show you what my niggles are. Some of these things aren't going to worry anyone else, because all that anyone are going to worry about is the drivability of the car, which is what you should be worried about when driving the Lotus, because it's all about the drivability, not about the technology, probably not about the things I've identified. But anyway, as always, thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. Please subscribe. Exciting things coming next year. Monaco trip, Munich Motor Museum, where you stay in the hotel there and you put your car in the room. I look forward to taking you all these journeys with me in 2025. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. See you again soon. Good morning all, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for taking the time out to watch again. Today is a bit more about the Lotus Emira, the 2024 Lotus Emira that I've purchased. I've done how much I paid for it. I've done what it's like on the road and a bit of an overview 8-week review of it. I've done the niggles about it, but what I've noticed online, there's not a lot about the interiors in these and what you can do in the car with the control systems, etc. So today is just a bit of an overview around that to help you, my viewers, let you know what it can do. So let's get to it. So let's start with the dashboard. And as you'll see, the dashboards on the new Lotuses are a lot better than the S1s and the S2s and the old analog dials. The dials have been updated now, so it makes the Emira the next generation in Lotuses for sure. This dashboard will change for what mode settings you're running at. So if you put the car into sport, it changes to red. And if you put this car into track, it changes to a totally different dashboard where you get your G meter, but it also does turn off all your ABS and traction control, etc. as well. So just be wary of that, but it does turn all that off as well. But yeah, so you can get different dashboards on this, which is good for the different speed or modes you're driving in, which is a really good upgrade as well for Lotus. With regards to the dashboard as well, you can control and change the settings in the dashboard as well. So on the toggle wheel here, or on the toggle switch here, you can go start from the top, so you can get your different gauges there. So you get your G meter, you can get your power, torque and boost, and that's live when you're driving. You can see if I accelerate that. And then you've got your downforce. So as you get faster, I don't think the car's sophisticated enough to actually know how much downforce, but as you get faster, it basically puts an additional line above the car showing you that the car's got more downforce. And then if we go the next one down, you've got on here just your lap timer, so you can do lap times when you've got the car on the track. You've got your tyre pressure settings on the next one, and then it will tell you your oil levels, where your oil level is, whether it's okay, how much is in the tank, whether it's below maximum. You've got your service due days in miles and days, and any warning messages would come up there as well. on this one, this is just your trip meters, so you've got your total miles you've done, then your trip A and B. I believe B actually resets every time, or you can set it to reset every time that you start the car or refuel the car. I'm not sure which way around that is, but happy for people to comment on that and let me know. Next trip meter is done a little bit different, so it's just your miles per gallon that you're doing at that time, average miles per gallon, miles and mile an hour, average miles an hour, sorry. And then you've got trip B. So this one is just about the other meter. So this is about trip A, and is what you see the overview on the other screen, and this is the trip B. Next one down is your sat nav, so it actually brings your sat nav up on the screen. Now these sat navs in these cars are not fantastic, not if you're used to using Waze or a sophisticated system like BMW or Mercedes. So it's not as sophisticated, but it does bring it up. I believe when you use Google Maps through Apple CarPlay, you can still get the map to come up on the screen like this as well. So that's good. And then you go down another one, and it basically brings your radio settings up, so you can actually control your radio from there. And then the next one down is to control your telephone. So for a Lotus, if you think back to the S1 and S2 days, you know, this is really sophisticated and moved forward from what it was in them days, and it gives you a lot of control from the dashboard. So let's talk about the steering wheel control. So I was controlling all of that from here. You got up, down, left, right, and then center is okay. One thing to be wary of when using this steering wheel control, or actually when driving, is you'll be driving along and you'll have something up on the dash, and when you look next time, the dash would have changed. Now the reason is that you don't actually have to press these. They are actually sense touch as well, so you basically, you can just glide your finger across them and they do change. There you go, so that you can use it like that as well. So that's by doing that. So let's say very sophisticated. You've got your volume up and down there, and then a menu button in the middle there, just your horn as you would normally there. And on the left hand side is really all to do with cruise control, speed limiter, and your voice control as well, where you can talk to the car to do different things. So again, it's as I say, it's sophisticated compared to what Lotus is used to have. A nice little touch here on the little vents. You've got a mirror written on the vents there as well, which is a nice little touch. On the door here, you've got your you can unlock and lock the door, your electric mirrors there, and then you've got your electric windows, passenger and driver side. You've got your memory seats there. The seats are electric and heated, so very nice, and they are comfortable seats as well. Steering wheel, some people have been talking about this, actually they don't like it, don't like the flat bottom steering wheel, like they can't hold it, and they're talking about the steering wheel being really fat as well. But I'm not sure. I think it's okay, to be fair, but yeah, I'm not sure. But for me, it seems to be okay. I'm not too fussed about that. You've got automatic headlights on here as well, so that's a good thing for Lotus to have as well. And we've got automatic wipers as well, so automatic wipers as well, and obviously your paddle shifts as well. So over to the control center itself. Now I think I mentioned in a previous video, this isn't a BMW iDrive, it's not a Mercedes control system, it's what Lotus have put together. And let's not get too bothered about this, because a Lotus is more about the drivability and what the Lotus is going to give you. It's not really about what this does for you, what the controls do. It's about driving the car. So let's stop talking about that, and let's talk about what this does. So on the top right, you've got your little gimmick there, so you've got a really nice Stig there sitting in his car. So if you press on that, brings up your ventilation settings, and within there you've got your auto for your climate control, you've got your heated seats, you've got your recirc ventilation, you can put your AC on max like you can most other cars. You can turn your temperature up and down, and you can detect where select where you would like your ventilation to be, and then you can turn your fan up and down. A is showing that's on auto, and again, look, you got a little stick sitting in his seat there as well, which is a really good feature as well. So if you come out of the ventilation, you go into the main settings. So in here, this actually toggles up and down, look, so you can get your different modes here basically, and then you go to this radio, and that tells you when your phone's connected, and then this here, you just press on this and it'll bring your sat nav up. This sat nav isn't great, okay? This sat nav, I would recommend that you use Apple CarPlay and you use Waze or something like that. I wouldn't really recommend that you use anything differently to that, if I'm honest. It just doesn't work as well as you would like a sat nav to work, and it's just not, in my opinion, it's just not that clear, to be honest. Let's go back home. So let's go into the car settings now. So go into the car settings itself. So you've got car settings, you can go general, where you can pick the handbrake is applied automatically or it's not, so that means you have to put the handbrake on yourself. You can put the windscreen wipers into service position, so it moves them out the way of the frunk, which doesn't exist. That's just so you can open the front up to get to the accessories. You can reset car settings back to factory. You can go into car information, and remember I said about the lag on a previous video? There you go. That just tells you your VIN number, shows you your car. The only thing is my car's blue and that's silver, so it's the wrong colour, but that's by the by. And on the top here, you can go in your settings, you can go from car to connect, and then you can go into your Wi-Fi settings, your Apple CarPlay settings, your Android settings, to set that up. And you can go into system, go into language, units, keyboard language, voice command examples, and you can reset again in there as well. And then you can also go to audio as well, so you can see, you know, adjust where your volumes want to be when you have an announcement or an update. When your sat nav cuts in, you can set everything basically for how you want your sound to be coming through. So that's all the settings side of it. Got a notification section there, so if you get any notifications come up that you need to be reading, it comes up there. In quick panel, you can turn off your emergency control systems if you like, so it's your ABS and traction control. You got your parking assist camera, and you got your parking assist system. And then let's go back into settings, home, sorry, press the wrong button, I'm still getting used to it myself. You can press that and go into radio. So it took me to get these favourites on DAB radio, it took me 2 to 3 weeks. Absolute nightmare to get them settings up there and then favourites. And doing this video now, I wish I could tell you how to do it. I'll be honest, I can't remember, but let me try and retrack on that, and then what I'll do is when I remember how I've done it, I'll have a play with it without being on video. I will do that and then show you how to do it, because it can be a bit of a nightmare if I'm honest, but it is what it is. As I said though, this car is not about having a good control system, it's about driving the car. So yeah, Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay, I'm not going to show you it because that works just the same as any other vehicle that you drive that's got Apple CarPlay. It basically mimics your phone on the screen. So coming back down here, so we've got, if you want to overtake and just do this manually, you can temperature up and down as you do in any car. You can press that to turn your AC on. Then you've got your different ventilation modes there, and then you've got your fan speed and your auto climate control there, so you can turn auto control, climate control on and off, and you can also turn your fan speed up and down. This is your driving mode button, so I've showed this in a previous video, so you just pull that and then it turns the screen to that, and then you can do this, you can toggle that or press this and do that. Then you've got your radio button there, volume, play, pause, obviously gear stick, and as I've said before, Remember, when you're putting these cars into gear, you're actually putting it from park to neutral to drive. Into reverse you go drive, neutral, reverse, and there is a delay as well, just to keep you updated with that. There is a delay on that. I'm assuming they will eventually steer with the software of that and make it better. Start stop button here, so you've got your start stop button. As I said before, this is a bit annoying. Like you go there, you pull this up to push it, and by the time you've pressed it, it's gone down. You've got pretty good glove box actually here. That's a good sized glove box. It took me a while actually to find this button, which is held, hid up here, which is pretty good actually, but it took me a bit. Perhaps it's just me. It took a while to find it. In here you've got a little storage area and a USB A and C connections in there, and a nice little place to put your phone out the way. Up on the dash here, interior mirror, you've got a nice USB socket there, which you can either charge your GoPros from if you're videoing, or your dash cams. You've got an auto dim interior mirror and exterior mirror, and then up the top you've got also as well your lights and your airbags not on, your seat belts not on, and then your general switches in here for your interior lights, etc. Let's just quickly show you as well the controls on the seats. I'll have to get out for that. So here you go, here's your controls for your seats. So you've got a pretty good selection of controls there on the seats as well, which helps you with getting your seat in a really nice comfortable position, which is really good. Something I've just noticed actually when I go out of the car as well, that you've actually got a USB A socket underneath as well for charging, so there's no shortage of USBs in here. Down here we've got just your dashboard dimming and your button for your boot there. As I put in a previous video, please remember, if your boot isn't shut properly, and I mean by either shutting it hard or putting your hand in the center of the boot, you will not be able to use this button or the button on your controller to open it. It needs to be fully shut to enable it to open. And this is just your handbrake. If you haven't got your handbrake on auto, so it comes on automatically, that's your handbrake just to do that as well. So for me, I think that is about it for the interior of the car. But I think the interior is bloody fantastic to what they used to do. But that's it from me today, and I hope you found this video interesting. So as this video is going out, the car's actually probably in storage by now, because I wanted to put it in storage for winter. I've said in my previous videos that I've got some exciting stuff coming up, so keep subscribed, keep your notifications on, keep watching my channel. So what's coming up in 2025? Trip to Monaco, staying in the Munich hotel so I can put the car at the end of the bed in reality, which will all be videoed. And one of my mates, Richard, he wants to do a drag race with his M4 convertible against this. The M4 is probably going to beat this, it's going to blow it out of the water, but let's do it for a bit of fun, and let's find a runway and do it. If anyone knows of any runways around East Anglia that we can borrow to do this, can you please put comments in the comment section on the channel, and then that'll enable me to make contacts and enable me to get that video to happen next year. Anyway, thanks for taking time out and watching today. Hope you found this insightful. I hope you found all my videos of the Emira so far good and insightful, and showing you, what the Emiras are about. I love the car. Yes, there's things that do annoy me, but I love the car. So this is going to be my dream car for 2025, and this is going to have some fun in it. Thanks again. Have a good afternoon. Subscribe, put your notifications on, keep an eye out on the channel, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Thank you.